Let's allow ourselves to sink back down into awareness. Releasing the constraints of holding on to any objects, thoughts, feelings, sensations. And let's merely abide as our true nature, the witnessing light, by which movements of itself by itself creates life with a capital L. If there's any movement towards trying to go somewhere, or get something, or better the experience, then allow the falling away of that impulse, that narrative, that illusion, that apparent person. We can use our breath to anchor ourselves away from such mental activity, from mind. And simply allow attention to rest as what is. Allow any environmental ambience to simply colour your experience of being. Sounds, sensations, simply abide as the formless ocean. That you have always been. If we go straight right to the back of apparent experience. We'll find a gentle breath happening to us. It's wonderful. Notice in what is the breath known. Observe of this experience of simply being. See if it lacks anything, if anything's missing. We all live with this perpetual impulse through the identification with thinking, feeling, sensing and perceiving that more or better or something need be found, obtained, and that there's something we can do about it. Now this seeking for a thing might rise out of the idea that there is something present which prohibits us from knowing this thing that seems lacking. Maybe peace, happiness or silence, stillness. If I could get rid of these thoughts, these feelings, this event from the past, this story, this label, this wound, this person, then I can know peace and happiness. And of course, this experience can be brought about as a temporary object, as a state. And the sensation of it is so wonderful that a relief rises out of that. And the relief is readily taken for the experience sought. Maybe we spend months on a piece of work, years in therapy, finish a new book, self-help. These are all fantastic, of course. They're all pointing to the absolute. By paths and programs and possession. We are simply saying that here we go the other direction. We don't move out into objects, thoughts, feelings, activities, works, identities. We say surrender all of that release yourself from the monkey mind, the movements of emotions, and the insistence of the identity as a body and a way of thinking, and projecting ourselves to others in order that we find ourselves satisfactory by their responses. Here, we turn all of that into light. And by the direct route, with no distance to travel, we say, are you aware? Am I aware? And awareness is a clunky term for the formless, known, and knowing beingness in which all apparent forms rise and fall as ideas and energy and concepts and movements in a world of seemingly separated things. We say, be here now. And as many times a day as if we're turning a screw, we return without will to this known beingness. And the apparent movement away from it is really the vehicle back to it. Although we never really left, of course. And so we see nothing is missing. So nothing need be obtained. We haven't had to affiliate ourselves with a tribe and take on their beliefs in order to belong and know our true self. We haven't had to trust in the beliefs and the scriptures of a specific tribe and have faith that future events will be more satisfactory because it is written. As we said, we're going the other way with no distance. We're not bringing about a mystical experience by efforts or the application of substances or places or sense. Practices. We are simply and readily navigating the territory of simply being. These words are hopefully an expression pointing to and also limiting this formless experience of being. Words are delicate. And given. There isn't, of course, something called awareness or something in the back of thinking and feeling, or that thinking and feeling is in front of. This formless beingness, this expression of emptiness as apparent somethingness, just is. Or even to say just is to complicate it expressing itself by a long way. We must resist the temptation to try and keep moving back to awareness or letting go of objects that come and go, seem to come and go, apparently come and go in awareness, or if we're still in a place where we feel thinking, feeling, sensing and perceiving is objectionable and unwanted and inhibits simply being. And we must see through the transparency of the one who would change or seek to surrender or move past the identity which sees activities as objectionable. Instead, we can be with what is. and at best observe. Or allow for the being. That accepts, acknowledges and is aware of what is. Any apparent will or energy wasted on effort or movement or trying to change is another identification with what isn't, with a sense of separation. Is bondage in the end. Is illusion, is ignorance, sleep. So the given is given, and it's not given to anyone. It is giving itself, all giving. And there's an apparent knowing of the formless, graced givingness. We rest here and we begin here. But this beginning isn't a point in time, or isn't a space or a state or a stage that we can return to. Beginning is constantly and spontaneously flourishing. Movement apparently arises out of emptiness and returns to emptiness. It doesn't start anywhere or go anywhere. Movement merely is. If we strip away all our ideas of what love is, and rest in the idea that love is, love then becomes the finest pointer to this absolute formless experience of nothing seemingly moving as something, as it returns to nothing. And the sensed energy of being knowingly absolute love.